What's up, guys? Welcome back. Now, before I start, remember, hit the little button on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and go subscribe. Helps me, helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. Now, today, Congress is in meeting over a bill that is for the purpose of gun control called the Protecting Our Kids Act. I have the bill here. It's about 40-something pages long, and I have read it front and back a few times because you have to really understand how they're writing this. To say that it's sketchy and very, very, very limiting is an understatement. They have written this bill in such a way that you have to read it again and again and again and piece it together to understand what they're actually trying to achieve. So I'm going to start off on points that I have highlighted that I think are very interesting and will have a major impact on gun ownership here in the United States if it's passed. First thing, right on the front page, they are going to restrict any semi-automatic centerfire rifle or semi-automatic centerfire shotgun that has the capacity to accept an ammunition feeding device with a capacity exceeding 5 rounds to any individual who the licensee knows or has reasonable cause to believe has not attained 21 years of age and is not a qualified individual. They are also putting ammunition into this definition. It says semi-automatic firearm or ammunition. Semi-automatic ammunition is any firearm and ammunition. You can use the same rounds for bolt action that you use for the semi-automatic if it's the same caliber. They're limiting the sale of ammunition to anyone 21 years and older. But the writing of that last statement, 21 years of age and is not a qualified individual to buy a semi-automatic centerfire rifle or semi-automatic centerfire shotgun, is crazy because their definition of a qualified individual is someone who is a full-time military, police officer, or any other government authority that is deemed necessary for carrying a weapon like that. That is what the definition of a qualified individual is. So basically, anyone in the United States that doesn't serve one of those roles, by the writing of the first section of that bill, will not be allowed to purchase a semi-automatic weapon. The term ammunition feeding device means a magazine, belt, drum, feed strip, or similar device, but does not include an attached tubular device which is only capable of operating with .22 caliber rimfire ammunition. My hunting rifle, it's a Browning X-Bolt, has a detachable clip that holds 4 rounds. You could put a round in the chamber, 4 in the clip, you have 5 rounds. That means that bolt action now could also be restricted. Furthermore, the term ghost gun means a firearm including a frame or receiver that lacks a unique serial number engraved or cast on the frame or receiver by licensed manufacturer or importer in accordance with this chapter. If a weapon with more than one part that provides the housing or a structure designed to hold or integrate one or more fire control or essential components, each such part shall be considered a frame or receiver. The term fire control component means a component necessary for the firearm to initiate or complete a firing sequence and includes a hammer, bolt, or breech lock cylinder, trigger mechanism, firing pin, striker, and side rails. The term frame or receiver means a part of a weapon that provides or is intended to provide the housing or structure to hold or integrate one or more fire control components, even if pins or other attachments are required to connect these components to the housing or structure. Beginning on the date that is 30 months after the date of enactment of this subsection, it shall be unlawful for any person other than a licensed manufacturer or importer to knowingly possess a ghost gun in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce. So right here I have my AR. This is the up proportion of it. And I have the lower. The lower, right now, is the only one that needs a serial number. This also contains the trigger component, which is a necessary part needed for this weapon to work. The upper does not have a serial number. It does not have to. The upper contains the bolt and the firing pin and everything else. That means that by this law, the upper and lower of the AR and a handgun would need to have a serial number. So once this bill is passed, everyone in possession of a firearm, a semi-automatic firearm, that has 2 sides, especially when they talk about the pins, right? The AR is put together by 2 pins, that only has a serial number on the lower part of the AR-15, is in illegal possession of a ghost gun. So what you have to do is you would have to take this in and get this serialized by whatever the law deems is okay. You know, if you take it to a manufacturer or something like that, they put a serial number on it. Other than that, anyone that is in possession of an AR-15 that has a serial number would still be in illegal possession of that firearm because the upper and the other components of the AR-15 are not serialized. That is the writing of this bill. The next part of this that gets sketchy. An undetectable firearm is going to be illegal. The term undetectable firearms means a firearm is defined by Section 921 of which no major component is wholly made of detectable material. The term major component with respect to a firearm means the slide or cylinder of the frame or receiver of the firearm, and in the case of a rifle or shotgun, includes the barrel and the barrel of the firearm. The term detectable material means any material that creates a magnetic field equivalent to or more than 3.7 ounces of 17 by 4 pH stainless steel. This is where they get you on the handguns. This is my Kel-Tec. Both the upper and lower are made out of polymer. So in their terms, based off of a handgun, this would be illegal because it's not made, the major components are not wholly made of detectable material. The barrel does not count for a handgun. So think of a Glock or any other handgun that has the upper and lower parts that are made of polymer. Doesn't matter if the internals are made of metal. That means that this, which is my 1911, the upper and the lower are made of stainless steel. This would be legal because it's a detectable material. As far as your AR-15 goes, the upper and lower receiver can be made out of polymer because the barrel is always made out of some type of metal, and it's a detectable material. So a shotgun or a rifle, you're fine. But the handguns, either the lower or the upper needs to be made out of a detectable material. That means that they have basically limited the legality of a substantial amount of handguns. The next one that is weird is that they're making it to where if you are storing a firearm in a location at your home that a child can reach it without your permission, then you are breaking the law. Also, if you live in a residence with anyone that is prohibited from owning a firearm legally, you are also breaking the law. You're not allowed to have one in the house, the same house as someone who is prohibited. Now, who is prohibited from owning a firearm? Well, you think felon or someone along those lines. But anyone under the age of 18 is also prohibited from owning a firearm. So it almost is written like anyone that is in the same house as a child or prohibited individual can't have a firearm in the house. Furthermore, they're going to start putting serial numbers on any magazine or feeding device that has 10 or more rounds in it. And it is illegal to own or be in possession of a magazine that has a capacity of 10 or more rounds that does not have a serial number on it. You will also have to be 21 to purchase this. They say that anyone who owns one of these magazines before the date of this bill will be grandfathered in, and that's not illegal. However, how would they know if you purchased the magazine before this bill is set out? They wouldn't. They would have no idea because there's no way to track it. So if you don't have proof of you purchasing that magazine before this bill, you theoretically are in illegal possession of that magazine. These are the kind of limitations they are putting in place and writing it in such a way that will capture everybody who owns or has the intent to own any kind of semi-automatic weapon or high-capacity magazine. Anybody at all. This is the kind of limitations they're putting on your Second Amendment. It seems when you read the bill, oh, it's not too bad, pretty harmless. It is not. It's extremely restrictive. And it is extremely unconstitutional. In fact, my opinion, anything that goes against the Second Amendment is unconstitutional, but we're not going to go down that path now. So, again, I just wanted to go through what they're trying to pass, clarify it, get you the actual facts on this deal, and show you why we cannot trust these people that are trying to put gun control in place because they overstep. Again, if you like this video, hit subscribe, and we'll see you later.